For those of you that are here as a member of the Tribal Council, for those of you who are here as members of the Maniilaq Board, for those of you who are here as the people who have to deal every single day in the issues that you're hearing about throughout our service area, thank you. Yeah.
You're on the radio. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't realize I was on the radio. My name is Reggie Joule. Thank you, Billy. And I serve in the state legislature. I wanted to mention 2-3 things that got brought up this morning. In the area of public safety, the legislature, the governor, and the legislature have kind of put a big emphasis on public safety this year in the vein of domestic violence and sexual assault. This was a very big issue that we spent almost the entire legislation in one form or another addressing. It included trying to get more VPSOs at a rate of 10 a year for those communities that want them, recognizing that one of the challenges is in the area of housing our VPSO. Different discussions around public safety with regards to VPSOs is how we can take that profession and make it more meaningful for the individual in terms of looking at that profession as a career and maybe somehow linking it up so that people can work their way to become state troopers. We need our own people to become state troopers. We have a few around the state that are Alaska Native. We need more. And the VPSO profession, while it's been tried in the past to stair-step that up to a career, we need to renew those efforts. In the area of domestic violence and sexual assault, that issue is out there because it's a recognition that we're hurting each other. And that's a tough discussion to have. But those are born out of what's happening in our communities. There are some things we gotta quit hiding. We gotta quit sweeping them under the rugs like they don't happen, or making an excuse. And I'll say that when we think of sexual assault and domestic violence, we think that it's something that happens to our women and to our girls. We ignore what's going on and we hide what's going on with our boys, and how they too often are also victims of sexual assault, and they become people who assault as adults. We've got to quit hiding those things. Deal with them. I don't know what the answers are, but we're a smart people. And it can't be all government, because it'll fail. I was a victim of sexual assault as a young person. And for years I thought there was something wrong with me, when really it wasn't my fault. But you know, it took me 30 years to fix that in my head and make me okay. The responsibility to stop the domestic violence and sexual assault first has to be with us. And for backup, we need public safety to help us through those times when it's become too much for our communities. Because at 10 or 15 VPSOs a year, it's going to be a while before we get all of the public safety that we need. And even then, that public safety will be limited. I heard today a little bit about those who were convicted of crimes, have served time in jail as felons or even as misdemeanors. And you're right. We do have to pay attention to that population of people. We can't consider them throwaways because they did something wrong. There has to be a forgiveness in communities, but there has to be allowable forgiveness in the workplace as well. These are referred to at the state level as barrier crimes. And Ian, I don't know that we should have everything and have legislation, because they are general in applicability. That's the only way they can happen. I do, however, know that in certain positions, the Commissioner of Health and Social Services, I believe the Commissioner of Public Safety, on certain kinds of jobs, have the ability to grant waivers to allow people to work in certain areas, and those need to be explored. Because for those who are recovering from addictions, some of us know there's no better counselor than somebody who's had the problem and faced those demons and those challenges. Just know that in some of the areas at the commissioner level, the commissioner can do waivers on particular areas. And then I want to say, as I listen to these people who work in the trenches, who have to deal every day with a phone call, with somebody who isn't feeling right about who they are, trying to help people heal. Are the programs doing what we want them to do, that we accept money to do? And I'm asking this question at the state level. If domestic violence, substance abuse, suicide, sexual assault, if we lead the statistics in all of those areas, are we doing the right things with the programs that we are putting millions and millions of dollars in? And I'm getting better at asking those questions at the state level, because we spend hundreds of millions of dollars. We need to do it here too, with Maniilaq, who provides those services here. Are we putting money in prevention, or are we simply putting in more money in treatment? Because it has to be spread. If we're going to stop some of these things, we have to make an investment in prevention. If it is not going to be in money, we will have to commit our time and effort. So, I appreciate everybody's focus on some of these issues that are very, very difficult. And I'll close by saying this. As I look out into this audience, I see probably more men, or a pretty good divide. Our time, our place, our environment is changing around us. And it's difficult to feel a sense of control. People will adapt quicker than others. I think our women have adapted faster to these changes than our men. The comment that I want to make is this. What is the role of today's man? How has it changed, and are we changing with it? Because we need to. If we're going to stop all of the issues that we were hearing about this morning, we have a responsibility to change. We have to encourage our young people to not hit, to show respect. It's our responsibility to protect our women and our families as men. We are strong, but sometimes in the wrong way. We need to show not only our strength, but our courage and ability to adapt to the changing times, which means training, education, and more importantly, for those that are coming behind us, giving them permission to do and be the very best that they can be, even if it means moving from a village. We have to be strong enough to let them go and find their value and their self-worth. Thank you.